This is my set, and you will follow my rules. If you can't do that, then find another job.
Linda, we need at least 2 more days for this scene. Look at the setup. We can't just rush this.
Jack, we are already over budget.
Jack had spent months transforming his backyard into a full-scale Western film set. What looked like an old gas station was actually part of a $1 million production being prepared for filming. Every building had been designed for the movie, down to the smallest sign and weathered wooden board. Jack wasn't just building scenery. He was protecting a carefully planned production. Then Linda Whitmore, the HOA president, walked into the backyard with a clipboard and an expression that immediately made Jack uneasy. She stared at the movie set as if it didn't belong there. Linda demanded to know why commercial-looking structures were sitting behind Jack's home. Jack calmly explained that the property had been rented as a controlled filming location for a major production. The next morning, a professional production crew arrived with cameras, lighting equipment, and trailers. For Jack, the backyard finally looked exactly like the studio's concept art. Daniel Brooks, the studio producer, arrived and inspected every part of the set. He told Jack the production was on schedule and every hour on location was worth thousands of dollars. The entire crew suddenly stopped preparing the cameras. Nobody knew whether filming would actually happen. Before Jack could understand what was happening, heavy construction equipment arrived outside the property. Linda stood nearby, while Jack realized the situation had become much more serious. Jack watched the first machine move toward the set and realized the production could be destroyed in minutes. The studio crew immediately began documenting everything. The first wooden facade collapsed under machinery. Jack could only stare as months of construction disappeared beneath dust and broken timber. Then the bulldozer reached the centerpiece, the vintage gasoline station facade. That structure had been built specifically for one of the production's most important scenes. Cameras, props, and carefully built scenery were suddenly surrounded by dust and debris. Daniel immediately ordered his crew to protect the studio's equipment. When the machinery finally stopped, Jack walked through the wreckage. The backyard he had spent months building looked almost unrecognizable. Daniel stepped away from the wreckage and called the studio's legal department. He told them the production had suffered catastrophic location damage. The studio received photographs, production schedules, and damage estimates. What they discovered made the situation much bigger than a neighborhood dispute. The studio's accountants calculated the losses, including damaged scenery, canceled filming, and production delays. The number quickly climbed into the millions. A formal legal notice soon arrived at Linda's office. For the first time, her confident expression disappeared. The HOA board gathered for an emergency meeting. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know exactly who had authorized the demolition. Jack arrived with photographs, property documents, and the studio's production agreement. He wasn't there to argue. He was there to show exactly what had happened. Jack placed 2 photographs side by side, the completed film set and the wreckage left behind. The difference was impossible to ignore. The studio's legal representatives joined the dispute and presented their claim for damages. The case was no longer just between Jack and the HOA. The studio revealed that the destroyed backyard set had been scheduled for one of the production's most expensive filming days. That single fact changed the entire room. The HOA board members began quietly discussing what the destruction could cost them. Linda finally understood that her decision had triggered something far beyond a neighborhood complaint. The dispute eventually reached court, where the studio presented evidence of production losses. Jack sat quietly as the photographs of his destroyed set appeared before the judge. The studio showed the court the production schedule, location plans, and documented damage. The timeline made it clear how quickly everything had changed. After the legal battle moved forward, Jack returned to his backyard alone. The wreckage was still there, but for the first time, he could see a way to rebuild. Months later, new crews began rebuilding the movie set. This time, Jack watched with a smile as the Western Street slowly came back to life. Eventually, the cameras rolled again, and Jack watched his backyard become a movie set once more. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe, and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from?